The war between state marijuana law and federal marijuana law rages on. This time, federal law is threatening to kill legal marijuana in the islands off of Massachusetts and Cape Cod. So Nantucket Island and Martha's Vineyard are really only accessible by boat or plane, right? But the federal law says it's illegal to transport marijuana by either one of those means. Now, up to now, it's been okay, right? Not great, but it's been okay because Massachusetts state law says marijuana companies need to be vertically integrated, which means they need to grow it, cultivate it, and sell it all on their own. Which kind of sucks for them because when a business has to do all those things, it gets way more expensive to do business, right? And consequently, the product that they sell, it's going to be way more expensive. But when medical cannabis came to the island, when those businesses came, growing operations came at the same time, right? So the islands were able to supply themselves with cannabis. But the only legal grow on Martha's Vineyard is about, the one supplying the whole island, by the way, is about to shut its doors for good. And they're saying they're going to run out of product by the end of the summer, which is going to leave over 230 medical patients and who knows how many recreational ones completely up the creek with no way to access their cannabis. So they can't get it at home. And if they take a boat or whatever back to the mainland, they can't bring it back without committing a federal crime. So it's kind of like, what are you going to do here? So the Green Lady dispensary in Nantucket and Island Time in Martha's Vineyard are suing the Cannabis Control Commission, saying they're making it absolutely impossible for them to stay in business. Now, Fine Fettle, which is the grow operation that's closing down, says they're closing because of fees and regulations that they're facing. That cannabis on the island is simply, quote, not a sustainable business anymore. Quote, they also said there's so many different costs on this island that have resulted in the current situation we're in, where we've been losing money year over year. It's not sustainable. So business is already expensive to do on the island, right? Just because of rents, high rents, fees that it costs to do business there. And on top of that is this vertical integration requirement. So that means companies have to grow it, package it, distribute it, test it, using expensive equipment, all in-house. And on top of that, they have a heavy, heavy tax burden from the federal government. That's a 280E tax thing that taxes anybody who's selling a scheduled substance. And then on top of that, all that together, it's easy to see how this grow operation is going to throw in the towel. It's a lot going on. But it took the lawsuit by these two dispensaries to actually get the state to take notice. But once they did, a delegation from the Cannabis Control Commission came down for a sit-down to actually talk this out. So the Cannabis Control Commission, pretty much any controlled cannabis board out there, they're not really known for doing anything quickly. But they say they are looking into possible exceptions that they can make to the law, just like New York did when they allowed ferries to transport cannabis to the different boroughs. So the possibilities are out there. They're going to look into it. But this is just another example of the shenanigans people get into when you have federal prohibition going on in a marijuana legal state. It's just absolutely ridiculous.